G'day guys, and welcome to our round 5 edition of the BLGW show. This week getting renamed to the BLGW Williams show. Tonight we've got Dakota and Taylor coming on board. Down at the Donnies, big family name down there, Matt. You yourself, 7 years at Williston Senior Premiership player, down at Central Districts Premiership player, and now coaching the under-16s down there, mate. You love the Donnies, you love Williston. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. A little bit later on, your younger sister Taylor is coming on board. Shout out to Georgia, the youngest of the three, who can't be with us tonight, also a celebrity in her own means as well.
Definitely.
Look, mate, before we jump into too much footy, massive thank you to our sponsors. Dakota, welcome to the show. Again, quite the resume behind you, mate. You love your footy.
Yes.
You love your Donnies.
Yep.
One of the questions I've been very eager to get someone from Williston on the show and talk about is what is the key to success down at the Donnies? Obviously, at the moment, your under-16s you're coaching are undefeated. The seniors are obviously your sister is playing with and you're quite heavily involved, undefeated. And then the other sisters down in the 13s, undefeated as well. What's Williston doing? What's in the waters at Williston?
A big thing that we try to push is developing our juniors. Sets us up for all the other grades, I guess. So once we get a good set of juniors, to get them loving the game and to the point where they don't want to leave.
Perfect.
To get them to love the game first, teach them the skills. That's about it.
Absolutely. And obviously, again, Georgia in 13s.
Yep.
You and Taylor in the senior squad, and I know your mum's quite heavily involved as well. Shout out Bianca as well. You know, better do the whole shout out here. Again, Williston, touching on their senior team, they're phenomenal, have been for the last couple of years. I think they've had a lot of good runs. Of course, have been nubbed at the stake a couple of times, not to go down without a fight in the finals, but great to hear that they support a lot of their junior teams, and it's a really good club to be at.
Yes. It's a really good, family-orientated club.
And our game 1 for the weekend was Tanunda taking on Gawler Central. Tanunda kicking 2-3-15 to Gawler Central's 6-3-39. Game under lights. Down at the Pies, fiery game, great game of football. I heard absolutely rave reviews. Great to see a lot of people coming down to spectate and watching that game as well. Tanunda, unfortunately, just getting done at home by Gawler Central. Again, Gawler Central coming out, classy team as always. Kate Grady, Taylor Botton in their best as well. Grady, love to see it, mate. Zaylee Thomas, though, and Cass Holland, not to be outdone, kicking 2 apiece as well. Look, Neve Delaney and Kiama Weecher again for Tanunda in their best as well. These two teams are going to battle it out, mate. Saturday night under lights. How good is Saturday night game?
It's so good. You get the supporters from, the other clubs being there, other teams being there. It's good to have the men's around you, netballers come watch, and they can get more interested in the game.
Absolutely. Great to see that support. Everybody tries to snag those nighttime games. I know the vibes are very high, and great to see it was an absolute battle out there, but GC just getting the job done over the Pies there. Game 2, the Donnies taking on Lights. Williston kicking 10 goals 7, 67 to Lights. 3 goals 0, 18. Familiar name in the best there. Taylor Williams again on the show a little bit later, with Lily Bornhold, the captain there, kicking 2 as well. Obviously, Taylor had a cracker game, mate.
Yes, she did. Taylor, I think, had her best game of the season. She was holding her mark, she was kicking her kicks, she was kicking her goals.
Great, and that's, support from an older sister. I love to hear that again. To get in the best, she's quite a young player in the senior squad herself, so it's really good to see her coming through. You touched on the development of the younger girls. Great to see these girls filling in the senior squad and look, taking their place, rightfully so.
Exactly,
Light had their best. Look, Ella Mickin doesn't like to give herself too many props made down there as a coach and player down there, but Miko had a crack at kicking a goal from the back line, running all over the ground. I think she had great coverage over the weekend. As always, Miko, looking fresh and fit out there, mate. But Summer Birdfish not to be outdone in the best there as well. So another great game, but again, the Donnies just too strong. Do you think the girls can hold this form for the rest of the season?
I think yes. We've had, I believe, the Williston team that is this year is completely different from last year.
Yep.
We've upturned the soil. We're going for a completely different approach, new coaches, just same love for footy.
And that's, I think, again, recipe to success. It's obviously working so far so good.
Yes.
We'll see how they pan out the rest of the season, mate. The last game for the weekend was Anguston taking on South. Anguston, the Pamps, very much finding their groove, kicking 15 goals, 595. South battling away on the day, kicking scoreless, but had an absolute cracker game. Watching South this season, again, coming through a development stage, it's been one of those ones. I've had a few big losses, but I think, again, last week, Courtney Smith wrapped it up really well. I think they've got the crux and they've really got the team spirit down there at South. They're going to get some good names in and keep the good girls at the club. And I'm not shy that South's going to have a really good season next year. So.
Yeah, they're definitely working up to it.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Again, the development of the younger age groups as well. South's got some great girls. I know a couple of the younger girls have hit 50 games down at the club, which is amazing. To be able to keep girls in for 50 plus games is phenomenal. South's game on the weekend. Anya Jackson again in the best. Anya, you're phenomenal, and it's really great to see you playing at a club that you love as well. You can see your spirit out on the field. But Anguston, finding a best in Rachel Smith, who kicked 5. Look, coming from Waikery, I'm sure they're going to bloody miss her there because she was phenomenal. And again, Anguston has just really pushed this season and has such an amazing team coming across the line. Something down at the Pamps, mate.
Yep.
And I know, again, you guys are up to play them again in a couple of rounds' time.
Yes.
You feeling nervous about a couple of teams here?
There are definitely some strong teams this year, which is really good. We love competition. It's the only way you get better is by having good, even competition. But yeah, we'll just take whatever comes to us, I guess.
I like that. Look, Dakota, we're going to get Taylor back on after this short break, mate. Thanks so much for joining me with us, show.
That's all good. Thanks for having me.
And welcome to the show, Taylor. Obviously just having your older sister Dakota on the show, but an absolute pleasure to have you, mate.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again, the Williams show, it's all about the Williams girls tonight, and we absolutely love it. Big name down at Williston. You yourself in the Williston senior team at the moment. You've had a great career so far in the junior levels down at Williston and also in some junior levels down at Central Districts as well. Mate, you're in the senior team. Best on ground this week for Williston. I heard a little bit of a run, a bounce, couple of snags, mate. I don't mind seeing it. How are you loving your senior footy at Williston?
It's definitely a big jump from juniors, being like, obviously I was the captain last year, and so jumping up and being in a whole new environment with a whole new team, it's definitely different, and I really enjoy like being around a different group of girls.
I think it's really good, and like we discussed with Dakota, obviously Williston has that success behind them, undefeated in the 13s, undefeated in the 16s and the seniors as well. I don't know what's in the water at Williston, mate, but I'm so glad to see people like yourself going through the program and being successful, mate.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, like starting from the bottom and going all the way to the top.
Absolutely, man. Hopefully, again, you have another couple of really good games this
I hope so.
This season coming, but we're going to jump into our round 6 tips. I'm going to grab your tips for this week.
Okay.
Right? Don't stir the pot too much. I know a couple of girls were a little bit upset with my tips last week. I don't take it personally, and neither should you girls, but I do love it when we get a bit of fire in our belly from it. So coming up in the BLGW round 6, we've got GC taking on Anguston down at Gawler Central home, Friday night under lights. GC or Ango, who's going to take that one?
I reckon Gawler Centrals will take it over Anguston. It's a home game, they'll have the community, and I reckon they'll fight really hard for it.
I think this is going to be an absolute pearler of a game, and you know what? I'm jumping on the Pamps. I can't get off the wagon. I'm enjoying it. Great to see Anguston back on a high. I hope they continue it through. But again, Kate Grady, get some fire in your girls. Let's make it a Friday night to remember. Game 2 of the week will be Tanunda taking on Newry. Mate, where do you stand on that one?
I'm also going to go with Newry, go with Tigers and Tigers.
I like that a lot. Newry, again, very strong. Courtney Smith's been on the show as well, so it's been really good to see that. Look, Tanunda had a hard week this week, but I'm going to back the Pies just for a little bit of fire. They were salty I didn't back them last week, but Pies, get up, get involved. Newry, I hope you get a bit of fire going and have a good run as well. So, last game of the round. Williston girls, mate, you're up against South. You going to back the Donnies or?
Obviously, I'm going to back my own team. I feel like we are a really gelled a group of girls, so I think it's really good and I reckon we'll fight really hard.
Absolutely. I'm going to jump behind the Williston girls as well. Crack a start to the season and I hope they continue through. But South, give them one hell of a game, all right? And the Light girls, Miko, kick your feet up, have the week off. I'm really looking forward to seeing you come back fresh as a daisy. But round 6 coming up, the season, the year is flying. Again, like they say, time flies when you're having fun, guys. And that is the end of the BLGW Williams Show edition, guys. Thanks for joining us and we'll see you back here next week.